Has someone ever accidentally saved your life? I was driving to surprise my long-distance boyfriend in another state and prayed a gas station was coming up soon or I'd be stranded. Then I saw it, the dim lights in the distance, and sighed of relief. I pulled in completely exhausted, but quickly noticed there were no other cars and nobody in sight. I had no signal and was literally in the middle of nowhere when someone tapped on my window. I screamed and thought I was about to die before quickly realizing it was just the gas station worker. Ma'am, I can pump your gas for you. But something about his voice seemed off. I barely cracked my window and handed him my credit card, making sure to keep an eye on him. But weirdly, he took it. But instead of starting to pump, he just stood there behind my car, completely still. Not moving, not pumping, just staring. 10 seconds passed, then 20, then 30. My heart started racing because this wasn't normal. Nothing about it was. Through my rearview mirror, I could see him still frozen in place, and now his head was tilted slightly like he was planning to rob me. He stayed like that for what felt like forever, but was probably only a minute, then suddenly started walking back to my window with this strange expression, like he was trying to smile, but his face wouldn't cooperate properly. My hands were shaking as I cracked the window again. Hey ma'am, your credit card actually isn't working. Can you step out so we can go inside? But I literally saw it work. Every instinct in my body screamed danger. I told him I'd wait in the car while he tried it inside, but he froze for a second. He tried again. Ma'am, step out of the car so we can fix your card, please. He was doing everything he could to get me out, and I knew something was terribly wrong. He kept looking inside my car, probably at my purse in the back seat. I told him, no, I'm staying in my car. He sighed. Well, you have to pay somehow. Just come in so we can do it quick. I said a quick prayer and grabbed my purse. I looked through and by some miracle found cash inside. I was so panicked I practically shoved it through the window crack, telling him to just take that instead. He picked it up off the ground, looked at me like he was angry, but to my disbelief, he kept going. Ma'am, you need to step out. But the desperation in his voice was different now, almost panicked. I'd had enough. No, I'm not getting out of my car. He stared at me for 3 long seconds before telling me not to leave because he'd be back with my change. I watched him walk inside the store, but he was walking backward, still facing my car the entire time, stumbling slightly but never turning around. He didn't take his eyes off me, and I thought about just speeding off that second. Through the store windows, I could see him at the register, but he kept looking out at me every few seconds, and his mouth was moving like he was talking to someone even though the store appeared empty. He was grabbing something from under the counter, and I knew I wasn't staying to find out what it was. My flight instinct kicked in hard. Something was catastrophically wrong here. I started my car, didn't wait for my change, and floored it out of the parking lot. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely hold my phone steady to call 911, told them about the weird gas station attendant who tried to force me out of my car, but before I knew it, 6 police cars came screaming up behind me with lights blazing. They boxed me in, forcing me to pull over, and as soon as I did, multiple officers ran at my car with guns drawn. I was so panicked, I had no idea what was going on. I was just a barely 5-foot girl trying to see her boyfriend, as they were screaming, "Ma'am, get the F out of the vehicle now!" I was sobbing, confused, terrified, until one officer yanked open my back door. He pulled me out, and I kept my hands up expecting to get arrested, but was confused when they didn't. They just kept pointing their guns at my car. But then, my heart completely stopped. They started pulling things out of the back seat and started shouting again. Then I heard another voice, and I stood completely frozen, not able to breathe. The guy from the gas station had seen him through the window, and was trying to warn me the whole time, because the officer started pulling a scruffy-looking man out of the back of my car.